Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed. Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going. Hello, we're here. Welcome to the podcast.
The podcast. This is our first time, so we're going to talk over each other, and that's okay. When you're doing something for the first time, you might not be good at it. And if you are, we don't like you anyway.
I mean, listen, we can't all be good at all things all the time. That's all there is to it. And I'm really bad at interrupting because I came from a big family, so it's just going to be what it is. Anyway,
That's right.
Welcome to the CK and GK podcast.
We are two moms who are also teachers. We know a lot of things.
We don't know even more things, though. Let's be real clear about that. There's a lot we don't know.
We pretend to adult on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Our approach to this podcast and teaching and life is just going to try and be as practical as possible and have some fun, and hopefully you laugh along with us. So let's get started.
Yeah. So my co-host today.
And all day.
And all day. Right? All day.
All days.
Caitlin, the first runner-up to play Ginger Spice in the remake of the Spice Girls movie. She lost out because she doesn't have the blonde streaks in her red hair.
No, they're just white. I have the white. I've got the little white, like wiry babies that stick up. They're so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. Oy. And I have the woman who supports all women like a human bra. It's Liz Lemon, everyone.
That's good.
Just kidding.
Right, so.
It's Jenny. We call her GK. This is the CK and GK podcast. It's already off to a rip roaring great start. Anyway, I'm Caitlin. That's Jenny. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is our first real podcast where we're going to be giving you guys the rundown on what we actually do. Our format is we're here to provide you with a working knowledge of basic topics that might make you feel like more of an adult as you go about your daily life. So
let us answer the questions that we weren't too embarrassed to ask.
And sometimes we were too embarrassed, but we went ahead and did it anyway, just for you.
But we teach middle school, so downward social comparison, our self-esteems are very high.
Anyway, with that said, we always have a few topics in mind that we always want to discuss just to keep you kind of up to date on what's going on in the world. We will always talk a tiny bit about sports. So we have like a little Go Sports chapter. If you want to skip, you can skip, but we're going to talk a little bit about sports. And so what's relevant right now, Jenny, is this whole mess with Aaron Rodgers.
You have to pause because my dog is trying to get out of the room.
Okay, pause.
Okay, so we're going to cut this out or not, and it'll be funny that there's just like 3 minutes of dead air while I put my dog in the puppy house.
No.
Okay.
We're back. So our news is Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
It's crazy.
Oh, okay. You're going to go on. You're just going to go right in and say he's crazy.
Tell me
about
Aaron Rodgers. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Okay.
And plays for the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
A football team.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers is famous for his ability to call a play and make the other team jump too early.
Nice.
And so he normally gets a free play off of that and is able to milk that for a little extra yardage.
Okay.
He also has quite the arm.
I've heard that.
And he's nutballs.
Okay. So just to clarify what's going on, he told everyone at the beginning of the season that he was
Immunized.
from the COVID-19 virus.
There are special protocols for NFL players, whether they are vaccinated or not. It is their choice whether they would like to be vaccinated against the global pandemic COVID-19.
As it is everyone's, to be clear.
Correct. But if you choose not to be vaccinated, or if you are unable to be vaccinated, there are different rules for you as an NFL player to help keep the league safe.
Makes sense to me.
Aaron Rodgers, in a press conference early in the season, announced that he was immunized against the virus, proceeded to follow a lot of the guidelines for the vaccinated population. Turns out his immunization was like burning sage and using a Ouija board.
Maybe some MLM was involved somehow.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, here's the thing about this. When you lie,
He did not lie, CK.
how did he not
He
lie?
said he was immunized. He did not say he was vaccinated.
But here's the thing. He said he was immunized and then proceeded to catch COVID-19 and test positive.
Oh,
for
so
it.
wait, he was not immune.
Right. When you lie, you know that it's wrong. You're lying because you know you're doing something wrong. Why, if you feel that strongly about not getting the vaccine and you don't want to be part of the, as he said, woke mafia about the vaccine, why would you lie then? And I didn't lie. No, you lied because being immunized means that you either have the antibodies to not catch it again, like the chicken pox, or you've been vaccinated. And so he knows that it's wrong. So to me, you deliberately, intentionally did something that was harmful.
We have a full-size poster of Aaron Rodgers in our house. It came off the wall.
I mean, that's a big deal because you guys are cheeseheads for sure.
For sure. And as of this week, we own exactly 1 out of 500 million shares or whatever it is of the NFL team. The only team owned by the people. We are Packers owners. It's basically a merit badge, but this is actual stock in the actual team that you can will down to the next generation.
This is like our dear friends who have purchased 1 by 1 square foot plots of land in Scotland. No, land in Scotland, and now they're ladies, and I adore my friends so much, but you know that's what this is. You know that's what this is. You guys owning that is
but I will tell you that my husband has already used it in meetings when he's introducing himself. Hello, my name is John, and I'm an NFL owner.
It's on his LinkedIn profile. Entrepreneur / NFL owner.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Well, okay. So did you hear about what Kimmel said to this in response to this?
I have not. I have distanced myself from this story because everyone knows what big cheeseheads we are.
And it's frustrating.
Everyone knows that the Packers are a big part of our family. So I've been I've tried to stay away from it as much as possible.
So is keeping your family safe and healthy. You guys were more COVID safe than pretty much anyone I knew. Like you guys were more hardcore than anyone I knew. And that includes...
Oh my gosh, you seen that movie Deep Impact where they like carve out the mountains and they go and they're going to live in it for 100 years because the asteroid's going to hit the earth?
That was you guys.
That's what we did.
You guys were the ones who were buying like $700 worth of groceries at a time because you knew you wouldn't go back for another month and a half. Like you guys were those people. So to me,
certainly were.
It seems like extra offensive that would be the situation with Aaron Rodgers. But I will say Kimmel had a great response. Aaron Rodgers tweeted out something like, well, if the vaccine works so great, then, how come everybody's still getting sick? And Kimmel's like, the same way you can be a great quarterback and the Packers haven't won a championship in blank many years. I was like, I love this man. Oh Kimmel. Like, always coming in hot with the jokes. Gotta love it. Professional comedians for the win. Amazing. That's our sports corner for this episode. We're going to have more of those. They may or may not be relevant as you're listening because we've been at this for a while, but we'll always talk a little bit about sports, so you can have something topical to discuss.
Yeah. If you happen to love a sports fanatic, we'll give you enough to start a conversation with him or her.
Right.
And
may or may not be pieced together
you,
from snippets that I overhear from Pardon the Interruption
right,
while my
right.
husband's
And if you're just at work one day and you want to join in the conversation, we'll give you a couple of taglines.
You just need to have a working knowledge. That's all this is. Yes, we're teachers. Yes, we're friends, but also we're moms, and we're going to have some mom situations that we have to discuss because it's just a big part of our lives. So we also have a little bit of, and I'm not ashamed, situation. Jenny's always coming in hot with these stories. She's got the best family stories. So I know you've got something. Lay it on me. I want to hear what the ridiculousness was at your house this week.
I have 2 children, and we have a pretty big gap between them. My oldest is 10, and my younger one is 3. And so it's almost like parenting your firstborn again. It's a Saturday or a Sunday morning. My husband and I are laying in bed, and it is well past 8 a.m.
That's a luxury. With a 3-year-old?
Right?
That is a luxury.
It was beautiful.
When they're 10, they're going downstairs, they're going to the media room, they're turning on the television, they're getting their own cereal.
Right.
It's
She is
great.
very self-sufficient at that point.
It's easy.
She's also good to just stay in her room and play.
Yeah.
I love this because she's in this great place where she is self-sufficient and can take care of herself, but she's also not afraid of play. Like,
That's
I still
awesome.
see her
That's
setting
great.
things up and pretending.
Gotta love it.
So as I'm laying in bed, I look at my husband and I say, I cannot believe Kit, that's our 3-year-old, I can't believe he's still asleep. And he looks back at me and goes, yeah, he's just so lazy.
He's 3 years old.
I'm thinking, what a glorious moment. This is so wonderful. And he's thinking, man, this kid needs to go get a job.
Right. How are you contributing to society? 3-year-olds, get on it.
Yeah. Get up. It's time to feed the chickens. Go milk the cows. We live in a subdivided neighborhood and very suburban also. We don't have chickens or cows.
There are plenty of people in my neighborhood who do. We hear a rooster all the time.
That's against the rules. You're not supposed to have roosters.
Oh, well, there's definitely a rooster.
We have chickens.
There's definitely a rooster because chickens don't say cock-a-doodle-doo, and this one does. What's the line from Friends? The vet seems to think that she's becoming a rooster. We're getting a second opinion.
Oh my goodness.
My sister would be proud of me for knowing that whole thing. Hi, Erin. Anyway, we also have ridiculousness in our house. I mean, Sam, my son, is 5.5 years old, and he says to us regularly that he is a Gemini. Now, there is context to this story.
Okay, we need to like Tarantino this. Bring it back and set the stage.
Pulp Fiction. That was a little bit Pulp Fiction-y. My son has these wonderful, wonderful teachers. His kindergarten teacher is amazing, and he had very wonderful pre-K teachers. His 4K teachers were talking about the stars and outer space. And somehow the conversation turned to constellations and how everyone has a constellation that corresponds with their birthday. It's weird because I don't buy into like daily horoscopes or even really monthly horoscopes, but when I read the profile of what each person is, like a Gemini is this, an Aries is this, a Scorpio is this, then I'm like, that's really spot on. It's weird. Anyway, my son was told that he's a Gemini and that his symbol, I forget what word he was using, is the twins. Okay, whatever. But then this lovely teacher proceeded to tell the children what some of their personality traits might be if they are these certain things. And there were a few kids in the class who are Geminis, as my son is. He learned that he is impatient. The Geminis are impatient. I'm like, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Neither myself nor my husband are blessed with all the patience on earth. So whatever. That said,
that's because neither of you are doctors.
Whatever. But he says to me one day, Mom, like, you're gonna have to wait for me. And I was like, why? And he was like, well, you just need to have more patience. But you know what? I don't have to have patience. I don't have any because I'm a Gemini. And I was like, I'm sorry. What? Like, how? First of all, are you a 13-year-old girl? Where's your mood ring? And second of all, let's come back to this and tell me why you don't have to have patience about me getting you a waffle or whatever it was that I was doing. It was the most ridiculous. There are some diva comments that come out of this kid. I'm sure you have your own because since you have an almost teenager as well as a three-nager.
The comment of the day goes to my husband.
Oh.
Who is in his quote mid-30s. We're doing this in air quotes.
Yeah, me too.
Because he's milking it as long as he possibly can until he's in his late 30s, or someone else called them the upper 30s. And I was like, is this a temperature?
Ew.
Upper 30s? Like, no.
Right. It sounds like the cold front is coming in from the Rockies.
With wind gusts to 20 miles an hour.
Get out of here.
No. He's calling it his mid-30s. He didn't call it that when I was there.
Right. No, that's not fair.
He told me I was in my late 30s when I got to this age.
Boo.
However, anyway, he looks at me tonight, and unfortunately, everything he said was true. Okay, so let's set that stage. He looks at me and says, Jen, why are you sitting alone at the dining table drinking wine out of a box and watching Major Dad on your phone?
It's called self-care.
And I just looked at him and I was like, oh my God, it sounds really bad when you say it out loud. Oh my God. They're all sitting in the living room watching Thursday Night Football. I'm sitting by myself, drinking wine out of a box and watching 20-year-old episodes of a sitcom that stars the guy from This Is Us, the doctor from This Is Us.
Major Dad. Oh, my cheeks
But don't
hurt.
worry, I'm rewatching it. I'm on season 4. So it's not like some random episode popped up on my feed. He's like, you're still watching it.
Cheese and rice made cheeks hurt so bad.
That's exactly what's happening here, isn't it?
You should try it sometime. It might make you feel really good.
It's Franzia and Gerald McCraney.
Ooh, maybe we can get sponsored. If you keep saying that will make my husband.
The CK and GK show sponsored by Major Dad, which got canceled in 1993.
No, by Francia. I'm not talking about.
Oh, by Francia, that makes more sense.
I'm not talking about being sponsored by Major Dad.
I was like, I don't know that they still have fun.
No. Well, this podcast has devolved rapidly.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry that this is what you get out of a
I'm
first
not
episode.
sorry at all. I do not care.
But don't worry. It's not our first episode. It's just the
yours.
first episode. Because we have already recorded 6 episodes under a different name that we now have to change because someone else has something too close. Stay tuned
Yeah, my
for
husband
more.
is an intellectual property attorney, and he was like, ooh, that's too close. I'm like, oh God, you guys, I promise we've got nowhere to go but up. So we are going to throw these in here every podcast because I don't know what it is, but all I know is that I have obsessions that last typically about 2 weeks or so, and then I let them go. I was telling my friend that I have purchased an embroidery kit because I wanted to learn how to do it because I saw a really cool pattern. Guess how long it lasted? Guess how long? I was obsessed.
14 days.
What? I'm sorry, how many days?
14? A fortnight, if you will?
No. I even bought a pair of embroidery shears after I got the kit because I was like, these scissors are not cutting it. Literally not cutting it.
Literally. Ah!
I know, right? That was a good one.
Oh, you did
that was a good one. No, I think it lasted 3 days. I still have it. It's
Oh,
unfinished.
good.
I did a good job, but it's unfinished. But that was my obsession for like 3 days. But right now, hopefully this obsession is a little bit more lasting. I know one of them is, but one of my obsessions right now is the Great British Baking Show. I cannot stop watching.
Have you made it to the space turtles yet?
What? The space turtles?
There's one episode where one of the characters, like they're people, one of the contestants makes something that is turtles in space.
No, I
And
haven't.
when we watched this episode, Kit, our youngest, was a very young baby.
Okay.
And
Then maybe I
we
have.
started singing Space Turtle. Space. And that was like his go to bed song, like Space Turtle. And we had some friends over one night, and they have a daughter who's about 3 years younger than Abigail, so approximately 4 years older than our younger son. And I said, I'm going to put Kit to bed. Do you want to help me? And Vivian says, oh, yes, I do want to come.
Oh, no.
So I am rocking Kit and singing
Absent-mindedly
Space Turtle. Those are the
Space
only
Turtle.
2 words in the song. Space Turtle. Okay? You just sing it. Space Turtle, Space Turtle, Space Turtle, Space Turtle. And then Vivian starts joining in at 4 years old, like singing Space Turtle.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to go downstairs and apologize to her mother. I am so sorry that your daughter thinks putting kids to bed involves singing the word Space Turtle over and over again.
I'm into it. That's really funny. Space Turtles. I haven't seen it. So I have it on in the background, like while I'm working. I'm a freelance writer on top of being a former educator.
What's that former business?
I mean, I'm still an educator.
Just because you're not doing it full time doesn't mean you're not doing it.
Fair point. I am just no longer in the classroom. But with that said, it is my background noise. It is when I need to zone out. I just stare at these lovely contestants say lovely things. Today they were making coconut macaroons, and one of them had his piping bag full of chocolate and it seized up. And he's like, oh no, my chocolate seized up. And another one hands him her piping bag full of chocolate to make sure that he could finish. They are the loveliest people on this show. And I want all the good things to happen to them. And I like British humor enough to just be really into the comedians too. So
right.
Yes, I love that show. The other show that I'm into, and I'm late on the uptake because I am a mom and because I was a teacher who had no time to do anything, but I'm listening to the Smartless podcast. I don't know if you've ever listened to Smartless.
I haven't.
It is worth a listen. It is Jason Bateman with Will Arnett and Sean Hayes. The 3 of them have great banter and they bring on a guest. Some of the things that come out of the mouths of these men are just so hysterical, but also they interview great people. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson has been on.
Oh wow,
yeah, that was a really good one.
He's famous.
He's really famous, and
for being smart.
He was, well, that's the point, right? Is they're trying to learn something. So there was that one.
Okay, all right.
Maya Rudolph was amazing. You know, they're basically like hitting up their famous friends.
Her mom was a famous singer.
Yes, she talks about that. I did not know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did not know that until I listened to this podcast.
Oh!
I like. Oh, I was not expecting you to do that. I don't know. Those are my obsessions. Do you have any right now or no? Look at that segue. It was amazing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I told you I have a 10-year-old. She and I love a good murder mystery.
Who doesn't?
I mean,
real
life, true life, or made up.
Right,
doesn't matter.
Right, doesn't matter.
I'm also like a huge Candace Cameron fan. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine.
It's okay.
It's not fine.
Like, it's okay. You can laugh at me, whatever. It's okay. I have been a fan of hers for a really long time. You know how old I am. I already told you I'm in my upper 30s.
Here's why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I know how deep this obsession goes because you met her a couple times.
Did.
But you met her at one point and you made her laugh and you wouldn't stop talking about it for like a week. Like you were so excited about it. It was
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, I did make her laugh. And I don't know if that was just like her laughing because I told a joke and she was like, "Oh, I guess I have to laugh now."
No, I
I don't
think
even care. I
the
have a picture of
picture
her
is like
cracking up at something
right.
I
The
said.
picture looks legit. Candace
Right.
Cameron Beer, we're here for you.
Yeah. So anyway, she stars in a set of murder mystery movies on the Hallmark Channel. And Abigail and I have watched every single one. In fact, when her character got married in one of them, we threw a wedding reception at our house. But
Oh,
that's not what I'm obsessed with. What I am obsessed with is another set of Hallmark murder mystery movies because right now there are no new Aurora Teagarden Cameron Bure movies. The new movies we are watching are about a baker who owns a bakery called The Cookie Jar. She lives in a small town in Minnesota, and she solves mysteries on the side. She has discovered way more dead bodies than any baker should. And for some reason, like, she's not under investigation for the police. Like, why do you keep discovering dead people? I don't know.
Right.
But anyhow, and I'm not even kidding you. The name of this series of movies, get ready for it.
I'm ready. Lay it on me.
Murder, She Baked.
Yes. Yes. Amazing. Murder, She Baked.
And
Here I am
because
thinking,
I'm such a great wife,
watching Major Dad in the corner by yourself while drinking.
watching Major Dad at the dining table by myself while drinking munched wine. I try to only watch them with Abigail when John is not around because he's not really into Murder, She Baked, which
I wonder
don't
why.
understand why any red-blooded American male wouldn't want to watch these movies, but for some reason it's not his thing.
Can't figure it
But
out.
my 10-year-old, God love her, will not watch the movies out of order. She's like, no. We cannot watch number 4 before we watch number 3.
Oh, God bless.
So John went to a football game last weekend, and as soon as he walked out the door, Abigail and I ordered Murder, She Baked number 3. It's $10 on Amazon.
Oh.
We paid $10 to watch Murder, She Baked.
I'm looking at the show notes going, I'm obsessed with the Great British Baking Show, and I'm thinking Murder, She Baked is going to be something along the same lines, and I was so wrong. I've never been more wrong about a TV show in my whole life. Oh my God.
No.
That's really funny. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear your obsession. Do you have any like product obsessions or anything right now? I know you really like your like grout drill brush thing, which I need to get.
I do have the drill brush that we've seen on Insta a couple of times. And I have talked about the Lisa Frank nail polish enough times that I am now getting text messages about it.
There are nail stickers that are Lisa Frank that you can just slap on and go. And I'm a big fan of nail stickers. I don't have any on at the moment.
On the puppies, the dolphins, the pandas,
neon.
Whatever.
They're not
what
just
other
puppies.
Did she have?
Wasn't there some unicorns?
I mean, probably.
There have to be, right?
I did have the puppies. That was the folder I had.
There's kittens too.
Oh, I'm sure there
and
are.
Like
with
leopards.
Big, beautiful eyes. Oh, leopards. That's it.
Like leopards and cheetahs and stuff.
Yes,
yeah, there were like jungle
little
cats.
Little cheetah cub. Cheetah cub, cheetah baby.
It was like Care Bears, but like neon.
What is a baby cheetah?
Aren't they kittens?
Kitten?
Or pups? No, I think they're pups.
Pup?
It doesn't matter.
I'm Googling it.
do it right now. This is why we need a producer.
I wonder what comes up when you type cheetah baby.
Probably some sort of doll. Tell me.
Well, Google did fill it in as Cheetah Girls cast list.
Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for.
It is a cub.
Oh, duh.
Oh, but this is good. A group of cheetahs, a coalition.
Nice.
Yes. A coalition of cheetah cubs. That's a lot of C's. If you were playing categories, this would be a good one.
Yeah, let's just make sure that our one listener is playing category.
Just saying.
You just
You
lost
had to
her.
name felines that starts with C. Coalition of cheetah cubs. I just got you 3 points, and I don't think anyone's going to say those things.
We just lost her. She's gone. Our listener's gone. Come back. Please. So one of the other trying to reel you back in here. We're gonna try and get you back. Here we go, listener. Are you ready? Today we are going to share our real talk with you, which is
quote unquote main segment.
We're so
the
good
reason you joined.
Right. Normally, one of us will do some research and give you a little bit of information on a topic that we learned about either for you or because we needed to for ourselves. We just thought for this one we'd lay it on you real easy, and this is one that we both know about. This is what to get for a teacher in your life.
Oh my gosh, this is so timely. So do you know what we're doing at my school right now?
No. Tell me.
Drawing for teacher Secret Santas.
The kids do Secret Santa? For you guys?
No.
Or you guys doing? Oh.
And so I actually drew a name today, and I am so excited because I am new to this school.
Sure.
And I happened to pull the name of a teacher on my team.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, because you know this person.
I'm so excited that I'm buying for someone I know.
That's really helpful.
As you will hear, listeners, knowing the teacher and showing that you know them really does make all the difference.
I mean, listen, this is one we're both experts on. I'm already fielding questions from friends like, hey, what do I get for this teacher? What would be a good gift? So here we go. I'm just going to lay it all out there for you. I will say it is year 3 of teaching in COVID. If you did not know that,
think about it.
We are in year 3 of being a teacher in COVID. So, there was
the Tiger King year.
March 2020. Yeah, there was the Tiger King year where everybody actually quarantines. Then there was the 2020-2021 school year, which was a full year of COVID. And now we're in the 21-22 school year. So this is year 3 of teaching in COVID. So we have got to show our teachers that we love and care for them, because teaching is hard right now. It's incredibly difficult, and bless all of you guys who are in the classroom right now, because it is not an easy place to be.
So let me say the number one gift you can get a teacher before we start to get into specifics.
Oh, do it.
Number 1 is a thank you note.
It means the most. It means the most.
Very best thing that you can give to your teacher or your child's teacher or a friend who is a teacher is write that person a letter and explain why you value them.
It's like, if your kid wants to draw a picture or like all of that stuff means so much. Like, I don't know about you, but I still have all of that. I have
I have a happy face folder that's like 8 or 10 inches thick.
Yeah. I have a binder.
Every note that a kid's ever written to me and those funny little drawings. And I pull it out and say, oh, look, here's that time and here's that. And, I have forgotten all about this picture.
It means the most.
So let's just get it out there that while we are suggesting tangible gifts,
you don't have to do that.
The number one thing you can do is express in writing your gratitude.
And that also means email is okay, just so you know.
Oh, for sure.
You don't have to go out and buy a card. You don't have to get a piece of paper and handwrite it. You can. We love that. But you can send an email.
I printed an email and put it in my happy face today.
Exactly. No, you just, any sort of written communication that expresses gratitude is the number one thing you can give a teacher. That said, if you do want to show appreciation in a different form, we have some suggestions for you.
Faux show.
It's the holiday season anyway, so let's just,
It's the holiday season.
Nice.
That's
amazing.
About as much as I can sing without us having to pay
Well, we heard your Maya Rudolph's mom impression earlier.
I mean, why wouldn't I?
Amazing.
Loving you.
It's so good. It's just so good. Guys, I don't want to stop her. So here are some ideas. Ready? Number 1, gift cards. Gift cards. It can be a Visa gift card. It can be, I don't think they do MasterCard gift cards. It doesn't matter. It can be a gift card to almost any place. But the most awesome ones that I always got were ones to local coffee places, like being mindful of proximity to school, because there are teachers who can't and don't have time to go get coffee before school.
Coffee is to teachers as cigarettes are to prisoners.
Oh. It's currency. It's as gasoline is to a car. It is what makes a teacher tick. Some coffee drinks are more expensive than $5 when you do customizations. So being mindful of that might be a good thing. Like, I mean, it's always nice to get $5 off your drink, but if you're trying to buy a teacher a drink, maybe bump it up to $10. So
I totally agree. If you're looking to spend something in the $5 range, there's lots of other options for a complete gift.
Yeah, and we can get into some of those. Yeah. You can also just show up, coffee in hand, and hand that to your teacher. Now, you know, you may want to find out what their drink is. You know, if someone's a soy latte, you need to understand that before you hand them their coffee, but totally a great idea to bring them the coffee, then they don't have to go and get it.
And that's one of those being known things, right? If
Absolutely.
you can find out what their coffee drink is, whether it be calling the office or checking those teacher profile forms that we fill out at the beginning of the year, or it just asking.
Hey,
say,
what's your favorite coffee?
I'm going to swing by and what can I get for you? The being known thing is just so huge.
It means a lot. It really does. And if they're a tea drinker, they might not drink coffee. Like I mean, for a long time, I was not a coffee drinker and I was a tea person only. And so finding out that someone knew that and they sent me like a nice box of tea to school, like that was a really cool thing. I liked that.
Until Darth Vader saw the light and joined the coffee drinkers.
Listen, I still like a nice cup of tea occasionally.
Sure.
That said, I have seen the light and I do drink coffee now, but I can only drink the cold
tea. Doesn't fuel me.
Black tea can. Black
tea like it relaxes my soul and I can sit there and sip it, especially when I was teaching Anne Frank. You know, I would drink a cup of tea for comfort as I'm reading through this book.
You have to. But
I'm not drinking tea at 10 o'clock so that I can get excited about the mitochondria.
Black
which
tea,
we all know is
the powerhouse of the cell. You're welcome.
Amen,
You're welcome. You're welcome for that. If you are looking for something in the $5 range, that's a gift card thing. You could always do a gift card to a big box store, $5 off of a Target purchase, or $5 to an Amazon purchase, or Walmart, or something like that would be highly appreciated.
Fancy pens are normally in the $5 range.
You can get a packet.
Pick up a cool little pen. I had a parent bring me a pink pen one time.
Nice.
That's it. That's all she brought. She said, I know you love pink. And I thought this pen was just, I saw it and I thought of you.
Oh, how sweet is that?
It was super sweet. I was like, this is a great gift.
This is my new favorite pen.
I used that pink pen until it ran out of ink.
Oh yeah. Teachers have a thing about pens. We'll talk about that.
I'm jumping the gun.
I like it. You could also do a local grocery store gift card. Teachers often pack their lunches. Usually we don't have time to leave campus, go get food and come back, or we don't have time to run down to the cafeteria and get school food. So if you want to send a little bit of grocery money their way, that's always a nice way to do it. Again, even $5 is something that's really appreciated. Not to be that person, but $5 to a liquor store. You could do a liquor store card. That's not a bad thing either. Not every teacher drinks, so you may want to know your teacher first, but
right. And this is another one. You know them and you know what they like to drink?
Or you know your kid. You know your kid. Do you know your kid? I know my kid. I think my teacher deserves a liquor store gift card because I know my child. So there's that. Amazon, Etsy, anything like that. Those are all great. And again, you don't have to go all out and spend $50 on a gift card for someone. You can give $5. That's appreciated.
Do you know what drink you can get for $5?
I know my husband gets
Sonic.
one. What? You can
Are
go.
you a Sonic drink person?
No.
Dude, okay, so welcome to the South.
They have Sonic in Colorado.
We have okay. Oh, they have Sonic in Colorado. She's so fancy now. You go during happy hour between 2 and 4,
Oh, yeah.
and they're half price drinks for $5. You can be in and out of there with 2 drinks.
On a Friday, I bet a teacher might be out of there by 4.
This is what I'm saying. Every once in a while, we would all pool our money, and one teacher would run to Sonic
that's smart.
during their off
Their conference
period
period.
and bring them back.
I like it. That's smart. Good thinking, teacher. One other thing you could do if you're looking for gift ideas is ask that teacher if they have a registry for their classroom. Lots of teachers are doing Amazon registries or, through Target or whatever. Some of them have like compiled registries from all over the web and they're bringing things together. So it is totally okay to ask if they have one. They might link it in their email. They might give it to you at the beginning of the year and all those back to school forms that you may or may not have received because you may or may not have attended back to school. But definitely ask around.
The free option, the gift of time,
and
offering to the teacher, can I put together an Amazon wish list for you?
Ooh, that's a great idea.
If they don't have one, maybe you could build one and then send it out to the class.
I love that idea.
Well, I know time is expensive. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But if you want to give a gift that costs you nothing but time, but gives them a whole slew of prospective gifts.
That's a great idea.
You could put together a registry for the teacher and then send it out to the class.
Yeah. The teacher might have to tell you a few things that they specifically want, but all they have to do is throw together a few links and then you can take care of the rest. That's a great idea. Oh, speaking of pink pens and stuff.
Oh, I did not share that pink pen.
No, that's only for you. There are supplies that are only for teachers. If you would like to make a teacher happy, most of them really like flare pens. Just going out there, I'm just going to put this there. You can be the generic flare pens. I really like the ones from like Office.
Rick flare pens.
No, not Rick flare pens. That's a different thing. No,
these are felt pens.
Yeah, I have the generic ones from like Office Max or Staples or something like that. Those work really well too. So it doesn't have to be brand name. Just nice pens is great. But supplies that are only for them.
Clicking pens.
Yes, those are nice.
They go in my cart every time I make a grocery order. And I do not let my students use them unless they say please.
No, I like the ones that are 4-color. The 4-color pens are really helpful. I use them in my gray book.
Oh.
Because then I only have to have one pen.
I mean, somebody might be a millennial. You tried to click red and green at the same time.
Everybody did. Didn't you have like 15 colors and you tried to push them down at the same time? Didn't we all do that? Yeah. It doesn't work. It's a bummer.
Those pop-up sticky notes. Okay, so we are not talking about regular sticky notes.
No,
we
the accordion ones.
That guy who went to Romeo and Michelle's high school invented Post-its. We are not talking about the regular Post-its. We are talking about
the accordion ones.
Accordion style Post-its that go in the dispenser.
Yeah, those are perfect.
These are a hot commodity.
Those are next level.
Almost as fancy and as valuable as coffee.
And then there's nothing worse than like thinking that you have the accordion ones or thinking that you have the regular ones and mixing them up. Oh so annoying. But and if you do that, it's also nice to spring for a nice dispenser too. Those are fun. Any kind of office supply that's just for the teacher. This is only for you. You can put it together in a nice little plastic bag. It doesn't even matter. We don't care. Just things that they don't have to share, because we basically spend our whole day saying sharing is caring and sharing all of our stuff with our kids. So that's something to think about.
Except the paperweight clicking pens.
Yeah,
At which point they have to say, please, may I use your pen?
Yeah. And even then I'm probably like, no. Go use your pen.
You have like a really long chain like they used to have at the bank, and it's like going across your classroom like a giant spider web.
I used to glue spoons on the back of them. Like I would like use the tape and like do something weird so that
There
it would
was
look
a
awkward.
place in my small college town that they were a restaurant that specialized in chicken strips.
I'm
And
sorry.
they also had on their menu fork
Hold
pens.
the
And they were just
phone.
pens that they had taped forks to so people wouldn't steal them. But for like $85, you could buy one of their fork pens.
What?
Yes, it was a joke.
Did
They
people do
also
it?
offered haircuts and like lobster tails or something
Oh
that, of
Lord.
course they did not have.
Yeah, no. Whoa. This place is interesting for sure. Oh my gosh. One thing that would really be helpful for a teacher, especially during COVID, is anything that's a wellness gift. I
Right.
got my last year of teaching, I got a package of things from a family that was vitamin C, elderberry. It did happen to have some like healing crystals in it, which I thought was amazing.
It's so
It was
cute.
so cute. Healing crystals, vitamin D.
I
Um,
like how you're listening like it's normal, like,
oh yeah,
face
it did have
masks,
a face mask. No,
hand cream,
it had hand
breath
cream, hand
mints,
sanitizer,
healing
breath mints.
crystals.
You could do like travel. I have the way you said
Lavender
that.
for my tub,
The way
the
you said
basics.
that was the way my son, when he was tiny, had a habit of coming into your room as they do, right? Like when you wake up and when they wake up. And one day he comes into
Unless they're sleeping in because they're lazy like my child.
one day he comes into my room, our room. I think my husband was already up and doing things, and I was the one being lazy. And Sam comes
Because,
in.
at that point, it was probably 5:45. Why weren't you up?
You know I'm crazy and get up super early, but he comes in and he's got a whole bunch of stuff, and he's got his Patty, which is Paddington Bear. He's had since he's a baby. He's got his pacifier, which we used to call Zanny because it was baby Xanax, so Zanny.
That's funny. That's almost as good a space turtle as a lullaby.
Zanny. We always called it. People called it whatever you call it. What's the like? What do people call pacifiers?
Okay, so we call it pacifier. Some people are saying
Passy.
binky.
Binky, Passy.
Passy.
Passy was the
We
other
just say
one. My
pacifier.
sister it was Passy for my sister, but we called it Zanny. And then he comes in with a cardboard birthday hat with like the strap under the chin. And I was like, what you got there? And he just starts listing it like it's all normal stuff. And he's like, Patty, Zanny, birthday hat, fingers. It's like, I'm sorry, what? And he just listed again, Patty, Zanny, birthday hat, fingers. And he's talking to me with Zanny in his mouth at the same time. The way you said that just totally sounded like birthday hat, fingers. So anything
Do you remember on SNL, Kevin Nealon used to do Mr. Subconscious or something?
yeah.
Mr. Subliminal? And
So
he would be talking and he would say something and then he would like slip in, you might be an alcoholic, da, 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 da. And like you're like, wait, what?
what's the line, the Ron White line, where it's like, are you ever watch a show and it's like it feels like it's talking directly to you, and it's like, are you sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos? And he's like, yes sir.
I remember there was one what's that? Jeff you might be a redneck if
Foxworthy.
for the Foxworthy, right?
Yeah.
So there was a Jeff Foxworthy bit where he said, you might be a redneck if you are watching me on a working TV that is stacked on top of a non-working TV. And I was. So I very quickly changed the channel.
Oh yeah, that would
I
make
was
me
like,
do it too.
sorry, Jeff Foxworthy. Oh, were we talking about teacher gifts?
We were talking about teacher gifts.
I bring it back.
Yeah. Again, anything wellness, tea, Epsom salts, a nice candle, vitamins, things that they can use for their classroom, like to help them feel refreshed. So like I always had a toothbrush and toothpaste in my room, like stain remover, stuff like that. Any of that is always helpful. You can go to the like
essential oils and like a little diffuser kit.
That's a nice idea. You can go into Target or into any like drugstore and just get like all the travel stuff. Little things of travel goods
You're right.
and give that to a teacher. That's a great idea. Also prepackaged snacks that are mindful of a teacher's dietary restrictions are
This is another
always,
get to know
oh yeah,
them.
always a great idea.
I have a teacher on my team who is vegan,
Oh,
and I brought in snacks for our faculty meeting a couple weeks ago, and I brought multiple vegan options, and she cried. She
yeah,
said, "I never get a
it
choice.
never gets included.
It's always, here's the vegan option."
Oh, you're so good about that. You were
And
always good
I
about
didn't
that.
even think it was a big deal. I just thought,
No.
hey, she might want to choose from 2 different cupcakes.
That's a good idea. Finding out what kind of candy they like, finding out if they chew gum or not, anything like that. It's harder to chew gum these days if you're a mask wearer. It's a little bit difficult,
Right.
but
Unless you're like my 6th grader who blew a bubble the other day and then had to raise his hand in the middle of class and say, "Can I go change my mask?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, are you okay?" "Yes, but are you all right?" "Yeah, I just blew a bubble and now there's gum stuck to my mask and my face."
gross. I love
Like,
6th graders.
dude, you're blowing a bubble in your mask?
Sick.
That's grody.
I love
First
6th
off, gum's against the rules. Secondly, this might be why.
This is called learning from experience.
Logical consequences.
Right, truth. I always chewed gum in the car. Like that's where I have packets of gum in the car so that I can have it there, since that's where I like rip off my mask and I feel like my breath just needs some help, so I just chew gum in
Well,
the
I've
car.
got teacher dragon breath because I drink coffee like a tornado. I bring in that thermos. You know the one that they had in the 1930s when they were building the Empire State Building? Like, I have that thermos full of coffee every day.
Does it have cream in it? Or is it just black coffee?
I have cream in my classroom and I like add it as I go.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's something. I can be okay with that.
I drink the coffee, I pour it from the thermos into a mug,
Into a mug. Can
and
we
then
talk
I
about
cream it
mugs?
as I do the mug.
We'll talk about
Let's
mugs
do
in a
the mug
second.
thing. Let's combo. Let's have the little mug
We'll
talk.
pivot.
Because here's the thing about the mugs.
They're cute to
This is
display
another,
items
you
in.
gotta know the teacher.
Yeah, they're cute to display items in. I get it. I see why you want to do it. Please don't give teachers any more mugs. You may give a mug if it is a well insulated travel mug of high quality, not one of those ones where if you touch it, it feels hot.
The one that like melts when you add the hot coffee to it.
Yeah,
I have that
I
one. I
have that
actually bought it
one.
for myself at the grocery store. I was really proud that it was only $1. I was like, oh, I'll put this in the cart.
There's a
And
reason.
now I forget that I'm like, oh, I'm drinking pieces of plastic
Yeah,
while I use
no,
this one.
don't. It is a problem if you hand a teacher a mug with a handle on it that does not have a top for many reasons. We have plenty. We get them all the time. A lot of them are very sweet. They say things like teachers aren't in it for the income, they're in it for the outcome, or you can't pour from an empty cup. Whatever it is, just fine. We just, one, often can't drink our coffee in a full sitting, so it's going to get cold if we use that. And two, I have no more room in my pantry, in my anything for any more mugs. So I'm just going to make a suggestion. Please stay away from the mug. Love teachers everywhere.
I will give a couple of other exceptions for the mug.
Okay, do it.
If it has a teacher's name on it.
Okay. Or initial.
Always.
Initial is
Or
cute
initial
too.
or whatever.
That's cute too.
Right?
You can
If
use
is
it for
personalized
pens
the
or
teacher,
whatever. That's
for
fine.
sure. Also, if your child makes it, decorates it, is somehow involved in the creation of the mug, it has now elevated from mug level to art.
And I will not use those to put a beverage in. I will use those as display on my desk to hold things.
Right.
Like that will become where my favorite pen goes. Or I used to put my keys in a mug all the time. Like stuff like that. That was where that is different and that is special, and you are right. But if it's a generic mug that has pens and pencils in it, or you are using it to display the tea that you bought, we just ask no, just no more. We're good. Going back to what you can, a tumbler is fine. Koozies are fine. Blank journals are fine, especially if these things are personalized. If there's,
dude, you personalize it?
it just, even if it's just a letter, even if it just says K, like Jenny and I both have K's in our name. I used to get K stuff and I was like, so special. Like I have a journal.
Somebody thought of me when they bought
I know.
this.
It's so, hold on. I have to show you this.
She has to show this mug
This is it's
this
my
notebook,
journal. It's my
because
journal.
this is a podcast.
I'm showing it to
you
her.
can see how wonderful this journal is.
First of all, it's leather bound. Okay. So there's that. It's leather bound and it has my favorite color on it and it's a K. So I'm also not a girly teacher person. I don't want pink stuff. This person knew that my colors are green and blue. So there you go. But yeah, that was a really good gift. This year and every year, cleaning supplies.
Dude, yes.
Welcome.
Especially the fancy ones. Have you smelled the coconut wipes?
Yes, I have. It smells like summertime.
Here's the deal. In my class, we are sanitizing because I teach middle school. So
every class,
we rotate every hour-ish.
Yeah.
So we are sanitizing between every class.
It's so much. So
I'm using Spritz or Lysol or whatever between every class. But on Fridays, Caitlin.
Do you bust out the good wipes? Oh yeah, you got to bust out the good wipes.
We just finished a unit on the nervous system. And one of the kids' presentation was all about the sense of smell. And they used Miss GK's coconut wipes as one of the smells.
I love it.
The Friday wipes.
Amazing. It smells like Friday in here. Yeah. Now, before COVID, I was giving the kids wipes on Friday afternoons only because I didn't touch the tables as much as I could. Like I tried to avoid. But there would be kids who would come into my room on Friday afternoon and goes, oh, it smells like Friday in here. I'm like, yeah, Friday. It's a Friday smell. I like it. I'm into it. But like those are good. The Lysol spray is really good because that gets the surfaces that we can't wipe or that get missed or whatever. That's a really good one. Hand sanitizers that are just for the teacher are always really nice too.
Fancy sanitizer.
Mm-hmm. Like or like the little soap that's like a sheet and you put it on your hand, you wash it. You know what I'm talking about? It's like dry soap. Yeah, those.
It's like the breath mints, but soap.
It's like when you were 12 and you had the strips that were like breath mint strips and you put them on your tongue and they dissolve.
When I was in college, my dad and I went on Atkins one summer. And we got those breath strips because they didn't have carbs. And it would be like our
candy
treat on the hour.
Yeah,
we would both get a breath strip and be like, oh, it's 5:58, only 2 minutes till our breath strip.
Oh my God. When I was like 12 years old, I was at the grocery store with probably a parent and I stole a tiny little thing of those and I felt so guilty. Like I like told my parent that I like forgot something and I ran back in and I like put like $1 in the tip jar. I felt so bad. I couldn't do it.
Oh man.
This is the only thing I've ever stolen. And then I went back and paid for it.
That's a misdemeanor, stealing.
Thanks. Pretty sure statute of limitations is up. It's the only thing that I ever stole from a grocery store or any store because I just felt like, I felt so guilty. Oh God, I felt so bad. What else can we say to stay away from? I feel like that's a pretty good list. Ooh,
no,
food.
I think we did well. Remember that when you're bringing food, you want to know the teacher.
Yeah. Dietary restrictions.
It does hurt to get a gift that you can't use. Not only because you feel badly that they brought you something.
Yeah, that's the main one for me. I feel guilty.
Like, oh,
I feel so guilty.
Yeah. Thanks. But also it as I've said like 17 times today, it feels good to be known. And if you have a teacher that you would like to gift food, ask them, hey, do you have any dietary restrictions? And also, just jot it down.
Please wrap it up like as nicely as you can. There's a really good chance that teacher's not going to eat it in the classroom in front of that kid. If a kid's got them in their backpack, if a kid's got them in their hand, we just don't know. So there is a chance that it might not get eaten if it's a homemade thing. And so while we appreciate the gesture, there's, especially in COVID, people just don't know. And sometimes it's
the COVID thing.
It just makes it, don't send homemade food especially homemade food that's not wrapped up. Here we are an hour later. All that to say, there is no hard and fast rule that says you have to give a teacher a gift. No teacher is expecting it.
Oh, no, none.
But it is top of mind right now with the giving season upon us and with COVID and people knowing that teachers are struggling, teachers needing mental health time, teachers needing to feel like someone cares about them. Some teachers are in a position where they don't feel supported by fellow teachers, admin, and parents and kids. So it's just, if you can and you want to give, of course they'll appreciate it, but there's no rule that says you have to. And again, a thank you note is free. So that's just something to think about.
And it's so good.
It's
It is so good.
It's probably the best thing you could give. All that is said and done.
So now it's time for the shameless plug.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe for more.
She just gave a kiss to the microphone. And she did a fun little pose where she put her shoulder out in front of everything. It's amazing. Her hair is done. I'd like to go on the record and say that while I did judge my hair during a break that we took a little bit ago, my hair is not done. Just putting that out there.
I have enough poof in the front that I could audition for the Snooki remake.
Snooki remake?
My hair was really cute last night when I went out.
Snooki, not Snooki.
Oh, oops.
And
can we leave that in? Is that funny that I messed it up?
Yes. It's very funny.
GTL, baby. Or should I say like
grown.
GTM and like mess that up too?
Gym Tan Laundry, GTL. That's a topic for another time. If you liked us, if you followed along, if you're still here, we love you. Thank you for staying with us. We appreciate you. We'd love for you to like and subscribe.
Do all the things.
Do all the things. It helps us.
A review,
download. If you download, it helps too.
Ooh, download. That's like really, that's like an extra star next to your name.
Teacher will hand out a gold star to you. We're teachers.
And like any good teacher would say, make good choices.
And you know what? Use your gift cards because you probably have them. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.